So I sold my first car with Bitcoin. These customers paid me with Bitcoin for the first time in the history of Flying Wheels. Flying Wheels now accepts crypto for purchases. Today's video, I'm gonna explain how it worked. It was a little scary, but at the end seemed to be pretty simple, which I'm really excited about, especially now that crypto is skyrocketing thanks to bank collapses. Today's video, pretty interesting. I'm gonna teach you how I learned to take crypto, how this van sold, did we make money by selling it on Bitcoin? Like, Bitcoin might be up by the end of this video. We're gonna find out. We also took that Sienna in trade. Super cool video because I've never done anything like this before. You're gonna see how I did it. You're gonna learn along with me through the process. My name's Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's get going. So goodbye Honda Odyssey, hello Toyota Sienna, and crypto. I sold a vehicle with Bitcoin today for the first time ever. Now I'm not proficient in crypto, but I do own some crypto. I lost tons and tons of money on Bitcoin, and then recently it soared again, and I'm now at an even point. I'm at a break-even point, thank you. And I'm speculating that it's going to go up higher thanks to these bank collapses that we've been seeing recently. Our banking system and bailouts that I saw in 2008 were ridiculous. And then the bailouts that people are getting now are ridiculous. Like, no one knows what's going on, and everyone knows you can't trust our banking system, which pushes people towards crypto, right? And that's the purpose of Bitcoin, which, is it our future? Today we're gonna find out because a customer, we test drove the Honda Odyssey. They liked the Honda Odyssey. They said they were paying in cash. We did all the paperwork. They get to the table and they said, all right, you take credit card? I don't take credit card because number one, the fees are astronomical. 3% on an $18,000 car is ridiculous. And then if they don't like it after the fact, or they just decide they don't like me, they can charge back and then the money gets taken out of my bank account and they still own the car, and it's a big, huge headache. I do not take credit cards for the sale of vehicles. I don't take PayPal for the sale of vehicles, and sometimes, very rarely, I'll take a Venmo or a personal check. Rarely. Very, very rarely. It's a policy. I don't take personal checks and we don't take credit cards. Wires, bank transfers, certified checks, sometimes we do that. Today, we're taking crypto for the first time because he said, hey, would you take Bitcoin? I said, yeah, I could do that. Otherwise, he'd have to drive an hour home to get his checkbook and then bring me a personal check, which I don't take anyway. So I said, yeah, let's try this out. Let's see how it's gonna work. Let's walk you through the process right now. I'm talking to you. Now, what's weird about taking Bitcoin, like having somebody pay me with Bitcoin, if he sends me $20 and by the time I receive it, it's worth $19, I lost $1 and he made $1 in this transaction. It's really kind of strange because it's not like, hey, here's a $1 bill. Hey, these pack of Twizzlers are $1.50, here's $1.50. It's like, hey, let me buy the Twizzlers with $1.50 worth of Bitcoin, and by the time you get it, or today, it might be worth 90 cents, so that Twizzler you sold made no profit. It's just odd because it's probably a terrible example. But if I sold the car for $10,000 and then I take $10,000 worth of Bitcoin by the end of the day, that's worth $9,800. I actually sold the car for $9,800, not $10,000. So it's hard to negotiate a price and say, yeah, you can pay me with Bitcoin, and then it goes down. I'm gonna go in the office right now and see where we're at right now because he paid me. I don't know if it's like, maybe I made money. Who knows? It's weird because, again, it's a roller coaster, so you don't know if you're, like, the number's not a number. The number's not a real number. It's a fugazi, it's a whoozy, it's a whatsy, it's fairy dust. It doesn't exist, right? Or does it exist? I don't know.
Fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.
All right, here we go. Now I have a Robinhood account just like a lot of other people, and I have lost a lot of money on not just Bitcoin, but stocks in general. And yes, when GameStop was going up, I owned a ton of it, and then they put a lock and wouldn't allow me to sell my own stocks. So Robinhood stopped me from being able to make any money and actually cost me tons of money on like American Airlines and GameStop and everything, which isn't right. So Coinbase is how I can transfer and pay for things. People can pay me, I can pay them. I have a Coinbase account, which is basically kind of like a bank account that you can put money into and it sits there and it's an asset out in the world. So I have a Coinbase account. The customer said, hey, can you take Bitcoin? Yeah, sure, I can do that. I've never done it before. No one's ever paid me in Bitcoin before. So he said, do you have a Coinbase account? Yes, I do have a Coinbase account. Let's open it up. Let's set it up. This is how it went. My first Bitcoin sale of a vehicle. So
you just have that ready to go there.
Yeah, so if I go to my Coinbase, I can click receive. It shows a QR code that looks like you would scan it, or I can text you.
I did scan it.
Oh, you did? Or it looks like I can text you a link. So it's as simple as Venmo?
Well, he's testing out he's gonna send you $20 and see if it works.
Yeah, you always send a small amount first to make sure that you've got it figured out on both ends.
Okay. How long does it take to receive?
They always tell you like a half hour. It's usually like less than 3 minutes. All right, successfully sent.
So I must get a notification, right?
I
Let's see, it must be in my assets, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So usually I send everything through a ledger, which is another asset if you're going to do a lot of Bitcoin stuff. Get yourself a ledger where you can take your coins off the exchange. So like the whole FTX thing that happened, that debacle was because people, a lot of it that cost people money was because they left their coins on that exchange. So it's like having money in the bank versus money at your house. So
Yeah.
if you have a ledger, you can download your coins to the ledger.
Okay, and then I can transfer them back over to Coinbase to send them.
To sell, but you can send directly from the ledger.
Oh, you can?
So, yeah, so you put all your coins in your ledger and it's literally like carrying your wallet around.
And how do you get a ledger?
So they're like, depending on which one you buy, a couple $100, but they have a battery in them, which makes people, a little nervous.
Oh, it's like a physical, like I carry it on me.
Yeah. And
Okay,
I don't
so it's
have-
not out in the cloud.
I didn't think I'd be dealing in Bitcoin today, so I didn't bring one. But
Right.
usually I have it. But what you do to prevent that from the battery going away and your coins disappearing is that you have a physical representation of your coins.
Right.
So we have a
People can't take it from you.
Well, we have a solid steel hidden in the house that has our Bitcoin 24 phrase code on it.
Wow.
And it could survive a house fire and everything else.
Okay, so it's not just digital currency, it's
Well, it is.
it's
but-
money on your hard drive that no one can take from you.
Right. Well, that way, if something happens to the exchanges or whatever,
Yeah, it's still
my
yours.
coins are my coins. If the exchange fails, then
It's lost.
yeah.
Was that for this?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
But it is why I checked it as quickly as I did.
Elapsed time near an hour. We're just under an hour. So we're gonna try to send it, instead of scanning my QR code, we're gonna send it directly to my cell phone from his cell phone. It's a $15 charge, but it's supposed to be instant because we haven't received the $20 test yet. So we'll see, let me know when you send.
So just to clarify, it's not a $15 charge. That's the test amount I've chosen to send.
Oh, so there's no fee to do it instantly?
No, zero.
Oh, it's just a $15 test amount. Okay, so there's no fee to do it instantly from your phone to my phone, and I received it right away. So it was over an hour, hadn't received it from the QR code. You sent it from your Coinbase app with using my cell phone number, and I got it. So if I check my assets, my balance is now $15. So you want to try to do the balance?
Well, let's do one more test in between the two.
All right.
Just for my own satisfaction. So I'm in it for 15 so far. So let's do 985, which goes to 1,000.
All right. Let me know when you send it. I'll tell you how quickly I get it.
Yeah, so
My balance just went to $14.99. Oh, because I own it in Bitcoin, right?
right in Bitcoin moves.
Oh, that is odd.
It is funny. Well, it's funny because we don't think about it real time.
Right.
The fiat
Yeah.
that we hand back and forth to each other, the exact same thing happens. We
Yeah.
Just, all right, sent.
Sent, and let's say that was 3
Oh,
seconds.
hold on. I have a verification code I need to punch in here. Now I've hit the confirmation code.
And I already got it. So before I started counting, I got it. So my wallet is now $1,000.24.
And Bitcoin went up.
Bitcoin went up. This is a constant gamble. Am I losing money? Am I making money? All right, so the difference would be your total balance is 15,900, so 16,000. You've given me 1,000. So you want to try for 15,000?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, and if you do, don't mind, tell me when you hit send, and I'm gonna count
All
it.
right, one more time. That is your phone number. We don't
That
want
is my phone number,
We
yeah.
don't want this going to
Yep.
the other lucky soul. All right, so 14,999.
Yeah, 14,999. I got it before you finish the sentence.
Before I finished my sentence.
So my balance now, or my assets, is currently $16,005.
Look at that.
So it's gone up $5. Weird thing, but
Damn.
it's check in an hour. But had you bought this car yesterday, it would have cost you an extra like $200. It's gone up another $200 today since yesterday. So
Yeah, so what you can do is you can measure it by how much Bitcoin you received, and then you can monitor that value. So when it hits 60,
15,995. So now I'm down. But the idea is right. All right. I think we did our first Bitcoin sale. So congrats to us and the world. Maybe. All right. Done. I'm gonna give you your title and we'll get you out of here.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so we have our van, we have the Odyssey gone. Let's go check our Coinbase account to see if the crypto's actually gone up, if my Bitcoin has gone up or gone down. Like, it's volatile. It goes up and down. That van, I could have lost all my money when Bitcoin drops again, or Bitcoin could keep spiking and that van could have made me more money than I even thought. So I am logging into my Coinbase. Now it's only been, Lauren, how long? 15 minutes since he paid me? It's been about 15 minutes. I am now at 15,000 901. So I've actually lost $99 since that guy transferred money over to me 15 minutes ago. So it's a gamble. You don't know where things are going. That was a $100 transaction, but it's temporary. Like, you're not supposed to look at things that way. Just set it and forget it. Don't think about it again and hope to the moon, right? But in the past 15 minutes, that transaction has cost me $99, which stinks because that means if I had waited 15 minutes, he would have paid me in Bitcoin at a $99 less. I would be $99 richer right now. So I hope that makes sense to you guys, because this whole crypto world is kind of confusing. The other thing is, if he bought this a week ago and paid me in crypto, one Bitcoin was like $21,000. It's at $28,000 now. So I would be $9,000 richer had I sold that van on Bitcoin a week ago. Bitcoin has gone up tremendously, and now he's buying at a high in the past like 3 months. So he would have made money on his Bitcoin, and now he's buying the van at a reduced rate because he's made money on his Bitcoin. Oh, before we go, one last thing. That $20 payment just went through. It's worth $19.90 now. It took an hour and 13 minutes for him to scan my QR code and transfer, but it was instant when he typed in my phone number. My Bitcoin is now worth $15,898. So whatever, I lost $100 and change. I'm now down 120. Well, the day is over. I just got off a live stream that was actually pretty fun with Zach and Ray from Your Auto Advocate, or Car Edge as you know them now. Brandon from Car Questions answered, and also Lucky Lopez, which was actually really great. If you haven't seen it, make sure to go check it out. The day is over though, and I'm curious to see where my Bitcoin is, because a few hours ago, I was down $1,000, meaning the percentage of Bitcoin he paid me with for $16,000 was worth $15,000, meaning I then sold the Odyssey for 15, not 16. So this is what's really mucky with taking crypto to purchase things. I sold the car for 16, he paid me with Bitcoin. The Bitcoin then in the same day went down to 15, meaning I sold the car for 15, meaning I lost $1,000 on the car instead of making $1,000. So let's see where we're at right now, and then I'm gonna end the video. All right, I am gonna go to Coinbase, see what, please don't be down. This is nerve-wracking. Before I even dive into this is also what sucks. I'm like constantly checking, oh, where's my Bitcoin at right now? It's like I'm gambling. I don't gamble, I don't bet. I don't like this feeling. I'd rather just know that I have $16,000 in my pocket than a Bitcoin that's going up and down. 15,326, meaning I sold that Odyssey for $674 less than I wanted to. Now, I'm banking on Bitcoin increasing in value. Like, I think it's gonna go to the moon. So I'm just gonna hang on to this. Like, I didn't need the Odyssey money. I'm not strapped for cash. I'm gonna keep the 15,326 in my Coinbase, and I'm just gonna let it climb. Who knows, maybe I would have made more money on that Odyssey for making this decision down the road. But for now, it's a loss, which means I am a loser at the end of this video. I hope it was informative. This is the first time ever. So if you guys are thinking about it, you got to see what I went through today. If you like this video, like it for me. If you hate this video, tell me why. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see y'all later. Adios.